From West Baltimore to West Philly, you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show here on PhiladelphiaRadio.com. For the next hour, I'll be your host. I go by the name of E, the Poet MC. And in this next hour, we're going to hear some poetry music. Now, somebody right now is asking, what is poetry music? You heard of rap music, right? Where they rap to music? You heard of gospel music, right? Where they sing gospel to music? Well, this is poetry music, spoken word music. Enough said. So in this next hour, here on PhiladelphiaRadio.com, coming to you live every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we're going to play some poetry music. If you're unable to be with us live, you can always catch the broadcast the next day on patreon.com/Griot Soul Records. Join our Griot Soul Records community. Get a free membership. You know what I mean? So in this next hour, we got music from Jill Scott, KP Ultra, Lady Sarcasm, Divine Styles, music from the Tiny Basement, poetry music, open mic going down once a month in Philadelphia. Join us for that if you can. But right now, we get into this thing from Tanking the Bangers. This is Enjoy the Ride.
It's not a diss poem, it's a real poem. Check it out. I barely like it. It's really the memories that hold me hostage. My mind make me watch, replay it over and over again. Being close to him, smelling his skin, sucking his lips, tasting his chin. My mind replays it like over again. Taking out the bad parts of how you weren't there for me. Remixing all the moments you couldn't look out for tea, or didn't listen, or when you lacked vision, no direction, no mission, no plan, no freaking ambition. I wanted me to possibly take care of you and me. I wanted me to guide the ship. I ain't Captain T, I ain't Mr. B. He who has the dick should not rely on me. Mama's boys will play with toys, but you will not play with me. Boy, Toys R Us is closed and you will not play for free. So why I feel so, bitch, never mind. No nickels, no dimes, new cars, bitch shine. Spend time, lay up, makeup, just get your bread up so you can be mine. But why should he change if I let the shit slide? Why should he change if I didn't mind? The elephants in the room with no air. We fuck up the vibe, cause egos don't like to share. Egos like elephants, elephants like egos. Wish I had a giraffe neck to see around it, though it was see-through. That Ike and Tina shit was never sexy to me. A toxic relationship with music notes and poetry. Not the sort of bed I wanted to lay in or stay in, but I'm laid up after a bad argument. Here comes the good fuck, here comes the good love. Who cares about the drama if we end on a good note? I mean good nothing. Nah, take not like that. She writes poems and leads with love. But I'm a black woman with trauma. My blueprint fucked up. I want my relationship to work, but I'm fucked.
Yeah, that was Tanking the Bangers. Enjoy the Ride from their Grammy Award-winning album, The Heart the mind, the soul. Yo, if y'all like that joint, this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to get your pencil and paper, write down the joints that you like, right? And we're gonna play them in our top 5. Hit me up at E the Poet MC on Instagram, or Griot Soul Records _ on Instagram, or leave a message right here on Patreon. You know what I'm saying? We about to get into this next joint from Philadelphia's own. This is Lady Sarcasm. Yeah, I like Lady Sarcasm. This is Lady Sarcasm with Be All of That, here on the Griot Soul Radio Show.
Be all of that. 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 Be fake hair and long lashes. Get 7 lashes with swift tongues. Be ghetto fabulous. Be throwing and catching them words with them hands. Be all of that. Love God, but let them know that you don't play that shit. Be reserved on Monday morning, on Sunday. Let them know that you had to pray not to have to smack a bitch. Be pretty, period. Tell them to relax about your hair being relaxed. That perm don't stop you from supporting the facts. Taking a knee or throwing up a fist, that's black. Be all of that. You could be a queen with bad bitch tendencies if you wanted to. Don't let labels change your style. Stay true to you, be comfortable. They say your presence in the room make you unapproachable. That has more to do with them and less to do with you. Be unapologetically black as fuck. Wear your fro to a job interview, put a bow in it and say that I am gifting this to you like a Fendi bag and a bad attitude. Be all of that. Be GED to PhD and still run shit. Be muffin top fit like fuck it, you gon' get all of this. Be polyamorous or monogamous as long as you love yourself in every relationship. Get up from that table when love is no longer being served, and that's in every manual from the hood to the burb. Say word. Just because she gotta have it don't mean she want it from you. She got choices, you hearing voices, your little man must got you food. You gotta learn how to play the game in order to shoot your shot. Her facial cues is her defense, this means you're being blocked. She mean mugged, you smile beautiful. She will when the moment is suitable. Don't be afraid to be all of that, be that stereotype. They'll tell stories of you to tuck themselves in at night like white baby sucking blessings from black breasts. Shit, they know we blessed. Stay on your college shit like we the best. Pat your weave, pick your fro, stroke your locks. They think you don't know you hot. They think you blinded by the plot. Let them think all of that. Don't fall into the imposter syndrome. You deserve all of your accolades from your hood to your throne. Drink your whiskey, sip your tea. Be loving hip-hop and dynasty. Make sure you pray, get paid, get slayed, get laid in the best way. Tag all of your friends in your Me Too hashtags. Then pick yourself up and get yourself back. Be all of that. 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 Be all of that.
Man, listen, that was Be All of That by Lady Sarcasm. You know what I'm saying? That's Lady Sarcasm, man. Anybody know Lady Sarcasm out there? Tell her, yeah, me from E the Poet MC. That was Lady Sarcasm, Be All of That. Y'all like that track? Yeah, that was produced by E the Poet MC. Just so y'all know, if y'all looking for production out there, poets, looking for production, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Yeah. Listen up. Coming up next, like I said, we host a Tiny Basement Poetry Music open mic once a month in Philadelphia. So we're going to be playing live performances from the Tiny Basement Poetry Music open mic. So we're going to get into this one now. This is KP Ultra, Kiss the Sky, here on the Griot Soul Radio Show, PhiladelphiaRadio.com.
You're listening to 84 Ultra. This is Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're listening to 84 Ultra. Here's a poem titled Kiss the Sky.
Said, I done got high off of Jesus.
Here's a poem titled Kiss the Sky.
Said, I done got high off sativa, got high to the highest power, but I'm a born again believer. No, a torn again believer. Grew up in church, but grew out of it in college. Maybe them folks that gave me the wrong set of knowledge, they told me how they used the New Testament to justify the enslavement of my people put in chains. Looked into my history, never saw the Savior the same. When they forced Christianity upon us, it made us a passive people. Told to believe in that book when reading that book was illegal. When white folk read the Bible, everything was fine. When we read the same Bible, it was considered a crime. How sublime, how religion and drugs intertwine, how it all connects when you travel through time. When white folks sell weed, everything is fine. When we sold the same weed, it was considered a crime. How sublime, how religion and drugs intertwine. Both can take away your agency. Both can alter your mind. But I'm just trying to escape though. I'm trying to escape like the ancestors. I'm trying to kiss the sky like Jimmy. I want to run away like Kunta Kinte. Want to get away, fly away like Lenny. I tried to put one in the air.
I'm trying to escape like the ancestors.
Now was it a blunt or
kiss the sky like Jimmy.
Was it a prayer?
I'm trying to run away like Kunta Kinte.
I tried to put one in the air.
Like Lenny.
Now was it a blunt or was it a prayer?
Now was it a blunt or was it a prayer? I tried to put one in the air. Now was it a blunt or was it a prayer?
We always knew how to praise the trees. We always knew how the stars align. Always knew some of those plants could get us right. Knew which herbs would alter the mind. We always knew how the water had a pull on us. Knew to be thankful for the sun. We be the most electric beings on the planet. A higher power ain't nothing new to us. They tried to ban our higher self. Only for us to soul clap back hands through gospel rhythms. Only for us to stomp our feet to the sacred within us. Do a ring shout to the infinity that we are. Using their Christ as an add-on to our original ways. A placeholder until we got back home. One day.
Yeah.
One day we escaped this reality and America called us addicts. One day we were so far gone they called us aliens. One day we tapped into our own energy and they called it the Holy Ghost. One day we escaped this reality and America called us addicts. One day some slaves emancipated themselves through trance. I done seen spaceships on Bankhead. I done seen 10 Negroes on Neptune losing themselves to dance. Who gon' calm the generations of spirit moving through us? Too much melanin in this skin to remain down to earth. Almost took my mama out the day she gave birth. Western medicine tried to curse, it could never consume. Black women pushed generations of divinity through the womb. So baby, be safe and please get home soon. That was the weekend we both did shrooms. I had turned 28, but I had just been born. Seen myself for the first time in adult male form. Some elderly folks never moved past adolescence. I lust just like my daddy. That was my biggest lesson. Figure your parents out and you'll begin to learn yourself. I was sober when I wrote this. My mind was somewhere else. I could break it down like an eighth or a quarter. Pass the blunt, spit a theory, and show respect to your daughter. But I'm just trying to escape, though. I'm trying to escape like the ancestors. I want to kiss the sky like Jimmy. I want to run away like Kunta Kinte. I want to get away, fly away like Lenny. I tried to put one in the air. Now was it a blunt or was it a prayer? I tried to put one in the air. Now was it a blunt or was it a prayer?
That's KP Ultra with Kiss the Sky. That was live at the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic that goes down once a month in Philadelphia. Hit me up for more details about that. And again, if you like these joints, I need y'all to hit me up and vote for your top 5. Hit me up on Instagram at eThePoetMC, or hit me up right here on Patreon. Just leave me a message or inbox me your top 5. So I kind of want to keep that Tiny Basement energy going. I want us to put our hands together and show our love for this next joint. This is Divine Styles featuring Omega. They call this one Honey.
Honey in my dream last night. Slow and heavy with mood, you crept up my spine like a cloud and set my soul at ease, and all my love came down and brought you to your knees. You're safe with me, and you ain't got to pretend. Soft lips on the small of my back. I try not to react, 'cause I don't want these moments to end. You once called me beautiful, soft like a rose. You said my fragrance invaded your senses. You said you were torn, but you can't fall in love with this flower and not appreciate her thorn. She's had to protect herself, put her heart up on the shelf. The faint caresses of her petals leave you senseless, going out of your mind. Should you stay or should you go? But you're running out of time, and I'd make that choice for you if only I could press rewind. And I know this might sound crazy, but I don't want nobody else. My heart's content, my body's so lonely. But no, I can't explain myself. But I love when you give in to me. Touches slow like honey. Just melt into me like sunsets in June. Keep my body heavy with mood. All those shallow conversations, afraid to show me your depth, but I won't let you drown, King. I'ma hold you down, and I ain't gotta be your queen to help you fix your crown, King. At least that's what I keep telling myself. But we still mixing good intentions with bad decisions, not to mention you lust me. And out of all the 12 days of Christmas, baby, you'll always be my number one, my partridge in a pear tree. But you say you don't want me, don't wanna see me with another, don't wanna be more than lovers. I lie under these covers, but keep my roots uncovered for you. For you, this flower opens like petals towards the sun. Kiss my leaves, bury your face deep inside as I slide. Look at myself in the mirror. What am I trying to hide? Hands trembling. I'm done remembering. It's time for you to watch me walk away. Catch that last glimpse as my hips sway and depart. 'Cause when I'm gone like yesterday, 'cause baby, I won't wait forever. When I'm high like heaven, when this love I have for you is finally subdued. Just know, for you I move like honey, sweet and slow and heavy with mood.
That was Divine Styles featuring Omega. That was Honey. That was live at the Tiny Basement Poetry Music open mic. That was back in April. And again, if you would like to attend the Tiny Basement Poetry Music open mic, DM me at the Poet MC and I'll send you the details. Poets come through with their original music because it's a platform for those who do poetry music, as well as poets who want to perform with music. And sometimes artists come through with instrumentals from other stuff and YouTube links or whatever. And sometimes we play rhythm roulette where we throw on a beat and we just see what you do. So hit us up. Also, if you like the live recordings that we're playing right now from the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic, visit GriotSoulRecords.com and listen to all the performers from previous Tiny Basement Open Mic. Also, there's a playlist where you can support those artists with a $1 download. It's an open mic that pays you money. Where they do that at? You know what I mean? So hit us up on that. Coming up next, keeping the sexy vibes going, this is Samantha coming to us from Sacramento, and she calls this one Filthy Fairy Tale. And you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show, PhiladelphiaRadio.com.
Lack of spatial awareness always carves a void between that man and me, because he has an unquenchable thirst for water, and I like to play with flames. So when our elements collide, we ignite tantric dances that conjure fireworks that always explode in. But the tide always turns. And the erosion of our proclivities is that we free fall into a fallacy of diamonds faster than the sweat that stained our sheets, because that man is built from fire. And I am a woman who channels oceans, rivers, lakes, and streams. Our consequence is that together we park on avenues where the luxury tax is a boardwalk built from steam. Love is not our discourse, no. Our discourse is that our love can never create a monopoly. So as the sands fall through this fractured hourglass, where the weight of water I carry is premonitions of him in my dreams, I hope that he too is afflicted with unsolicited revelations of me, because if he is, at least I could believe the karma of our boardwalk is sturdy. But such things would not matter. Here in this life, on this earthly plane, you've got to call a thing a thing. And the fact remains is that his Fahrenheit runs at a baseline of 1,000 degrees. If you don't understand what I've been trying to tell you, that motherfucker is mean. And I don't know. I just don't know where the earth is going to carry me. I am meant to flow freely. And I fully admit, it's not easy being a sensitive human being. So as the sands fall through this fractured hourglass, where the theory of our red string is clearly diseased, I have to accept the erosion of our proclivities is that even when his flames fall to embers, once you add water, our fairy tale is filthy.
Yeah, Samantha with Filthy Fairy Tale, coming to us from Sacramento, Sacktown. She just released a EP entitled Matriarchal Matrimony. I had the honor of helping with the production work with that. So make sure you go to GriotSoulRecords.com, give it a download, give it a listen. Word up. So coming up next, we're going to keep the sexy going. We're going to play a bit of a throwback, because I like to tell people that poetry and music is nothing new. So we're going to play something from Nikki Giovanni. It's a 2-poem-in-1 recording that she did back in the day. It's entitled Seduction and Kidnap Poem. And you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show here on PhiladelphiaRadio.com.
One day, you're gonna walk into my house, and I'm gonna have on a long African gown. You'll sit down and say, "The black," and I'm gonna take one arm out. Then you, not noticing me at all, will say, "What about this brother?" And I'm gonna be slipping it over my head. And you'll rap on about the revolution while I rest your hand against my stomach. You'll go on as you always do, saying, "I just can't dig," while I'm moving your hand up and down, and I'll be taking your dashiki off. Then you'll say, "What we really need," and I'll be licking your arm. And the way I see it, we ought to unbuckling your pants. And what about this situation and taking your shorts off? Then you'll notice your state of undress. And knowing you, you'll just say, "Nikki, isn't this counter-revolutionary?" Ever been kidnapped by a poet? If I were a poet, I'd kidnap you, put you in my phrases and meter you to Jones Beach, or maybe Coney Island, or maybe just to my house. Lyric you in lilacs, dash you in the rain, blend into the beach to complement my sea. Play the lyre for you, ode you with my love song, anything to win you. Wrap you in the red, black, green, show you off to mama, yeah. If I were a poet, I'd kidnap you.
Yeah, that was Nikki Giovanni, Seduction, Kidnap Poem, a back in the day piece. And like I said, you know, poetry and music is nothing new. I don't know why everybody acting like it's new, because some folk want to start giving away Grammys all of a sudden. Ooh, recording is a good idea. Come on, man. We've been recording with music as long as there's been music. On the black side of things, I think y'all should know that history, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, what we doing with Griot Soul Radio and Griot Soul Records and Griot Soul in general, we griots, you know what I'm saying? And we just doing it without soul. And how you gonna have soul without the music? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But keeping that back in the day vibe going, I'd be remiss if I don't play one of the progenitors of what it is that I do. The original Poet MC, Gil Scott Heron. This is one of my favorite joints from back in the day. The revolution will not be televised. And you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show here on PhiladelphiaRadio.com.
Be able to stay home, brother. will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Keys, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Gil Scott-Heron with The Revolution will not be televised. A classic, a classic. Y'all don't know about that. Y'all need to do your research on the last poets. Gil Scott-Heron, Nikki Giovanni, the Watts poets. There's a lot of poets that used to work with music, so make sure y'all go back and get those recordings. This ain't nothing new. You know what I'm saying? This is what gave rise to a lot of what hip-hop decided to do. Because of those recordings of poets in the early 70s, you know what I'm saying, gave birth to the modern hip-hop movement. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to those recordings, y'all. Coming up next, we have the legendary Black Ice. The legendary Black Ice. You know what I'm saying? A poet who's never been shy to work with the music. You know what I'm saying? Philadelphia's own, the legendary Black Ice. And he calls this one The Path. And you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show.
I look at the news and I watch other people's nations formed over. While right out my window it looked like death done warmed over. Swarmed over my folk like revelation is amidst us right now. Death in jail, ready to enlist us right now. Fight how? I ain't been given the proper guidance or weaponry needed to protect myself. I never heeded advice to respect thyself. Shit, that was usually given to me from some corner nigga. You know the type when coke was ripe, a 3-year run, then gone a nigga, spawn a nigga. I'm the side effect of the Willie Lynch prescription. Staged stereotypically, so I always fit the description. Educated improperly, so I never solved the encryption. For America to run smoothly, somebody gotta go through some friction. So I've been chosen for the addiction, to sell it and to use it. If you never learn how to love life, there's plenty room to abuse it. So I misuse it for all it's worth, cause they refuse to give me a boost. They start me pecking for their little chicken feed, then get upset when I come home to roost. I wanna sip the juice, but life's fruit ain't meant for me to squeeze. Built this brothel on my back and confined me to a striptease. Assigned me the disease and put the poison in cute disguises. They spend millions keeping me broke cause they know poverty demoralizes and uprises crime and they stock on prison life. You bitch niggas get rich, making the poor envision strife. Wife and state reform, corporate merger. Husband becomes inmate and purger. And hip-hop culture is named the urger. This shit is supposed to disturb you, ain't supposed to be able to sit tight. As the words submerge, they should be urging my people to get right. My nigga T love me to death, he said, yo black nigga, this is a shit fight. These ignorant niggas is stuck, they ain't gonna listen. I said they just might. If I spit tight and I draw it right, then maybe they'll trace the stencil and live life a little better, prepare for fate, cause it's eventual. And at my lowest, when all I had was the pad and the pencil, it seemed like the darkest of times, but I seen the brightest potential. I got the heart of a teacher, but still the mind of a hustler. I got that shit that when they spit, it's guaranteed to touch you. Black ice, clutch you, put you right in the verse. It's like first person, it's like you was right there with the nigga when he was writing, when he was rehearsing. Some say my words are prophetic, it's like the succession of God's plan. So stopping my progression is like fucking with God's man. Y'all understand the lessons that are coming in the ladder. I done prepared a substantial meal for y'all and the blessings in the batter. So eat up when you put the beat up, but nigga, make sure you listen. See, the fact is the track is coding to make sure you get the nutrition. Black ice bring dreams into fruition. Soul mission, that's why I display my life in plain view. Use my wit to cleverly spit and entertain you. Sustain you like you my flock. They say the shepherd never goes away from his herd. Catch me on the block. But when you see me, don't be afraid to come and talk with me. I'm Black Ice. Welcome to my life. Walk with me. Walk.
The legendary Black Ice. That was the path. Man, that drink goes hard. Yo, if you like that, I want y'all to DM me, inbox me, comment on this post, wherever. Let me know your top 5 from what you're hearing, all right? Coming up next, we have King Shice and E the Poet MC. This is from King Shice, E the Poet MC, Volume 1. This song right here is called Survivor's Guilt. And you're listening to the Griot Soul Radio Show here on PhiladelphiaRadio.com.
Survivor, survival of the fit. Survivor, survival of the fit. Survivor, survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die. Survivor, survival of the fit. Survivor, survival of the fit. Survivor, survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die.
I got survivor's guilt. Some say the skies were built, but dwellers of concrete jungles that desire lies of silk. Whose aspirations were heaven bound. Who disbelieved in what they see in order to see what they haven't found. Found the difference in taking what's given and having a crown. One's a king by choice, the other's your voice not having a sound. So I chose to be regal. Though living street illegal, is odd how you find God allowing your evils to feed you. Found more from my God search selling street merch than any church or cathedral. Cause how could a preacher reach you teaching from a text he doesn't read through? For every righteous plot, he forgot to mention his caveat. As kids, we hid in a masjid where they made salat but carried a Glock. I made it from there to here and though I buried a lot, everything I've been through comes with a handle cause I still carry the block.
Life is like living with regret, with the sun remorseful set. Balance is off tilt, you're left with survivor's guilt. Cup full of tears because these streets we don't cry over spilled milk. It's blood stains in them hood spots. We grandfathered in these blocks. I taught my youngest all wrong, along with my little brother, they all gone. They didn't get to see my maturation, the cultivation. They missed the God in me and only saw my Satan. Now I'm sitting in the house my past built, broken on the edge of the bed, having a conversation with survivor's
I got
guilt.
survivor's guilt. Though I maneuvered through them sewers, always kept my mind on stilts. Always knew that I was overdue for an overview. But the way them streets be molding you, holding you to them block rules, you'll never see an older you. Somehow I did. At night when I sleep, demons creep on the other side of my lids. Dreaming of those who didn't, who decided that I live with the guilt of survival.
We live in this till the day that we die. Survival of the fit, only the strong survive. Survival, survival of the fit. Survival, survival of the fit. Survival, survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die. Survival, survival of the fit. Survival, survival of the fit. Survival, survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die.
Where I'm from, the blocks I used to hug, threw shots at thugs, and hurt mama love when I ignored her prayers. When her church boy became a corny kid and embraced my sins, it was my gospel to be him. She carried a bruised purple heart. Miss Betty's son was at war. I lost my mom in 2004. She never saw how my poems made the crowd roar. The poetry sales and tours. How I raise my children, the at-risk kids I mentor. Them sores are still raw. What I gave my mom wasn't called for. Now I'm left in pain and wilt, trying to get right with my survivor's guilt.
Who gets to choose who wins? We all confused in sin. We all grew without the tools just to be screwed in the end. And I've never been a good person, just acted on good principle. In fact, I'm still rehearsing. Spoke at too many grave sites, rolled in too many hearses. It's hard to move forward, I'm reversing too many curses. And my children now have children, which gives me a funny feeling. In building them foundation, have I revealed for them a ceiling. Among these poets, it's confused that I'm one. It's assumed cause I'm in tune, but these are tunes for the unsung. This is for my niggas who deserve their day in the sun. I can name 20 savages that never made 21.
No commitment but sexing. Now here's the lesson. Never too late to hear it. We never was meant to be together, period. Let alone have children. Now we got to abort the mission. Question, do the unborn get comfort in heaven's quilt? What the hell do co-parents do with the dead fetus and survivor's guilt?
We live in this till the day that we die. Survival of the fit. Survival of the fit. Survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die. Survival of the fit. Survival of the fit. Survival of the fit. We live in this till the day that we die.
King Shice and Need the Poet MC. From the EP, King Shice and Need the Poet MC. That was Survivor's Guilt. Available at GriotSoulRecords.com. Go over there and download and check that out. Hey, yo, producers, I produced that one as well. So we need the link, producers. You know what I'm saying? This is like the early days of hip-hop. We have all these poets out here. We need more producers to link up with these poets and create some original spoken word, poetry, music. So, you know, that's why we set up this radio show and the Tiny Basement and GriotSoulRecords.com, which is distribution and full service for poets and producers and curators for the culture. We all need to link it up. This is like the early days of hip-hop where the radio shows help curate and cultivate the early days of hip-hop recording. So we're doing the same here at the Griot Soul Radio Show. Coming up next, we're going back to the Tiny Basement. Got my man Jet Blizzy coming up. And again, this is a live recording, so live things happen in a live recording. But it was super dope. This is Jet Blizzy with Rebirth. All right, let's go.
Yo, I felt the seduction towards self-destruction. I wanna go clean. Strap something to my chest, blow me to smithereens. I wanted people on the earth to know that I leave, but I still wanna blow up. Now as I live and breathe, I seen works from poets, rappers, writers, directors that change minds, bring reality into view, save lives, help the world become anew. I wanna be like that too. I wanna be like Gordon Parks, Robert Townsend, James Baldwin, Toni Morrison, Saul Williams, Rudy Francisco, DMX, Lupe Fiasco. See, I want all of that. I want my fiction to make friction. Uncomfortable at the start, then it's sticking. Then you get a spark and it's clicking. I want my poetry to be a therapy session. My vulnerability is the air that refreshing. That expression is a lesson. I want movie scenes to project respect so my people can feel special with no special effects. I want music to cross boundaries, but not in a way to cross over. More to help someone cross. Got you. I want my music to cross boundaries, not in a way to cross over. More like helping to bear someone crossing like Hova. I want my words to be quoted. I want someone to thank God that I wrote it. I want people to read something of mine and pass it on to someone else, and they decide if I'm worth having up on the shelf. I want to give hope because I know it's fragility. Not going to be optimistic because I don't write out of naivety. Because I've been there, and I'm still here doing this art. I got a bleeding heart, and the last thing I want to see is another person get ripped apart. That's why I have my sword sharpened and my confidence fortified. I don't want to die anymore. I want to be immortalized. I hope something hits your ear and like a souvenir, you could take it home. Poem.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's up, Jack. Come on, man. And first of all, and shout out to y'all. Clap for yourselves real quick. Telling him to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Because the most important part is the energy of the message that you giving the folk. And they want you keep going. It's like being in a conversation. If you study in a conversation, you be like, yo, let me run my whole conversation back. No, you keep talking, right? My man. One time for Jet Blizzy, y'all. Yeah, that was Jet Blizzy live in the tiny basement with Rebirth. As you can hear me at the end of that recording, me giving some encouragement, talking about, you know what I'm saying, you keep going, you know what I'm saying? Because the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic that happens once a month here in Philadelphia, it's part open mic and it's part workshop for artists to work on the tool of performing with live music. So as you can hear, it was real live. If you want to catch glimpses of what happens in the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic, you can catch the live broadcast, the visual live broadcast at patreon.com/Real Soul Records with your $10 membership. You can also hear songs on the playlist, you know what I'm saying? Where we capture live audio of live performances. Kind of like the early days of hip hop when they had tapes of the Cold Crush brothers going around. You know what I'm saying? You can listen to that. Here, you can support those artists by downloading their performances for $1. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of the Tiny Basement, let's go back to the Tiny Basement. This is LV Latrail with Trailblazer.
I will no longer get derailed. I will blaze trails. See, in order for me to get the life that I deserve, I know it will come with some fails, without fail. And this knowledge has never failed me, yet I continue to run into goofy ass niggas who play mind tricks like Jedis. And the next nigga I stand up for who wouldn't even hold me down, I bet I hang up my pen before I tie that noose around my throat to hang my neck on the line to them again as I begin to set a blaze to this mic. I ask for one smoky ass nigga to please give me a light like Shauna Paul, just give me the light. And I want all the smoke. I don't back down from a fight, so you can slide your back down a wall and cry every night as you have to watch God prepare this table for me right in front of your sights. LV Latrail. And I do not get derailed. I blaze trails. Cause niggas act like big dogs when they bark until they realize that I bite, and then tuck goes their tails. And the audacity of it all is at an all-time high, like somebody put it on a going out of business sale. The demeanor be so tough guy, but the ego be so frail. And my sentiments are non-binary, which means they're genderless. Cause if you knew what I knew about some of these hoes, I bet you'd defend her less. Likewise, if you knew what some of these niggas said about you while you was on the bench, you'd be inclined to be less pressed. Sissy got you under a spell. When it comes to these women of the streets, he's a beast. And although you're a beauty, he's got you curled around his fingers, which just makes you a dumb bell. And anybody out there with the balls to smile in my face just as phony as can be, do me a favor and stay your nutty ass off my trail if you don't mix with LV. Because I do not get derailed. I blaze trails. So no matter how much wind you blow my way, I will use it for my battleships to set sail. Because if it never gave anything, it never gave minor scale. When it comes to me getting my dreams, I'm pushing major weight. And when I finally get to the top, I'ma be so sorry I made you wait. But everything comes in God's timing, so I know my arrival is never late. But I've been patiently waiting for this poem to explode on it. You can hate if you want, but it'd be nice if you wrote one. And I don't mean to be curt, but when it comes to my life, you don't know Jack, son. And you don't know Jack, son. And I could go on for days about all the wrongs that's been done to me. But at the end of the day, it never stopped all the blessings that come to me. A trailblazer. trailblazer, someone who paves new roads through wild country. They prefer not to roll like everyone else, but to spark their own flame, to put it bluntly. Not saying that there's anything wrong with taking the road more traveled, but for me, walking somebody else's straight path was feeling a lot more like shackled, so I broke free, no longer afraid to do me, and I found that paving my own path to travel has proven to be the key that unlocks this greater version of me that stayed trapped inside a safe for safekeeping until recently I had to learn that not everybody's advice was in my favor. That a lot of these artists only want to use their pens to rub paper, and a taste of that life might be good for them, but it's never been my flavor. Cause why would I ever want to be a clout chaser when I could be a trailblazer?
Yeah! LV Latrell, y'all! Word up, word up. Yeah! Welcome to the Rhythm Roulette. I love that. Word up. Wait for your next artist to the stage. Let me hear you say, yeah. LV Latrell, Trailblazer, coming to us from DC at the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic, going down once a month in Philadelphia. Follow me on Instagram, man, so you can come up to the next Tiny Basement wherever you are, you know what I mean? And if you can't make the Tiny Basement, you can always catch the live stream on patreon.com/Griot Soul Records with your $10 membership. So make sure y'all become a $10 member of our Griot Soul Records community. You know what I'm saying? But y'all get this radio show for free on Patreon. So, you know, take advantage of that. Share it with your people and listen to it. You know what I mean? So, closing us out for the first Griot Soul Radio show, we have Jill Scott featuring Ab Soul. This is an ode to Nikki.
Ode to Nikki. She is not trapped in a perpetual loop. They are not doing what they are used to. He is not sitting on the same concrete wishing. She is a living, alive Celestine prophecy. He can actually taste his own vibrancy. She is swaying to her symphony, rocking her hammock, feeling the breeze, self-motivating, self-satisfactioning, wonder-filled curiosity, exciting, cages crumbled, much pride, much humble, much fumbled. No more dumbing down for what, for who, exquisite views, intentional luxury, mind-bending the spoon, complex simplicity, simpatico, beautiful beings touched by their sun, redefining, shining, vibrating sonically. Easy, He is not trapped in a perpetual loop. They write sonnets, ode to her mentality. They remember themselves. The costumes are hilarious. We are lifting. She is not cruel. He is not entertaining the poisoning. We are laughing at the futility. We are harboring none of their shameful tryings. We are lava form foundation. We have learned love is kind and its sword is cauterizing. We are not merely memorizing, strategically self-defining. Ain't not near coincidence nowhere. We have opened our eyes in no X or Z guises. We are together, birds and feather, risen and rising, thriving, finding the most beauty, the most hypnotizing, the most mesmerizing. Easy.
We are not trapped in no perpetual loop. Better recognize, got them squares out of our circle when referred to Metatron's cube. Let me tell you why. It's all mathematics and black on both sides. Backbone made of titanium. The current ever spinning tide is afraid of us, and I ain't surprised. Our system is solar, the orbit is getting slower, the sun is colder, we moonwalking in blue suede shoes, replace the pennies with silver dollars inside our loafers, sliding in stealth with knowledge of self. First class astro flights that never land, done ego tripping, but still shape shifting, applying sacred geometry off at the head of you reptilians.
That is the vision and the plans.
Yeah, Jill Scott, Ab Soul, ode to Nikki. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ab Soul on that joint, you know what I mean? Getting his Poet MC on, you know what I'm saying? We need more Poet MCs in the game. You dig me? Yeah. So listen, this has been the Griot Soul Radio Show, coming to you live every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on PhiladelphiaRadio.com. And if you missed the show, like I said, you can always catch the rebroadcast on Patreon.com/Griot Soul Records. You know what I'm saying? If you want to send music into the Griot Soul Radio Show, email me at griotsoulrecords@gmail.com. You can also DM me, you know what I'm saying, at Griot Soul Records _ on Instagram, at @EThePoetMC on Instagram, or hit me up on Patreon. Find me, man. Get me some tracks, you know what I'm saying? Producers, poets, come to the Tiny Basement Poetry Music Open Mic happening in Philly. I don't care if you don't live in Philly. Get here. You know what I'm saying? We're building a movement here in Philadelphia, and we're calling it Griot Soul. That's my time, y'all. I'm the Poet MC. Peace.